Hey there YouTube people, how are you today? I bet you are beautiful-tastic as always. Today I'm going to help you decide which model is the best for you. Now before we begin, I would like to be clear about few things. First of all, I am not a tech reviewer and I'm not trying to be one. But if you want to take an advice from a pro user, in this case, I am a professional animator for almost 2 decades, so I know what I'm talking about. Now, unlike my other reviews, in this video I am going to focus on my favorite features per model. I will not go too deep into the specs and the confusing numbers because I wanna keep my mission on the spot. I want to help you decide which model is for you. Now I must mention that every single model that appears in this video I actually tried. I will never ever recommend something that I never tried before. Okay, so let's begin with a couple of models that came out this year from XPpen, and maybe one of them is the perfect one for you. Deco Mini 7W. One of the most obvious things that you can notice from the moment you unbox this model is that it's lightweight, it's slim, and it's not too small for digital signatures, but it's actually have a decent active area to do your digital drawing, painting, sculpting, or whatever digital work you need to do. The second thing you notice right away is the 8 express keys that you can customize to any shortcut you like. Don't worry if you lefty or righty, because you can just flip it and use it as you like. Now let's talk about the pen. It's the latest technology from XPpen, so it's got the most modern features. We got 8K levels for pressure sensitivity, 60 degrees tilt support, and the most important, battery-free stylus, which means you never ever need to recharge the pen. Now, as a typical graphic tablet, you can connect it to your PC, your laptop or Mac. While you're drawing, you're looking at the screen. So far so good, but there is a new feature that allows you to connect it to your smartphone or tablet as long as it supports Android. I'm not sure about iOS, maybe it will be supported in the future, maybe not. For now, they mentioned that it supports Android only. To connect it to your PC, laptop or smartphone, all you need to do is to use the cables that came with it, which is USB Type-C. But, yes, there is another but in here. The W on the Deco Mini 7W stands for the wireless feature. And that made me really curious, because usually you must connect the device via cables. So what we get in the box is the wireless transmission as a USB port. So we connect it and it will talk with the device itself. The device contains a built-in battery that holds about 10 hours. Now that's a lot of time for a session, so that's more than enough before you recharge it. How do you recharge it? With the same cables that you just connected to your PC. Recharge of couple of hours will give you another 10 hours of work time, but you don't have to use the battery, you can always use the cables. While it's recharging, you can still working. Now it's hard to explain the way it feels when you draw with the pen on the tablet. I can try and say that it feels like a noisy, scrappy plastic. Just to be clear, it doesn't feel different from any other graphic tablet from other brands, it's just the same thing, feels like the same material. I must mention that even though most of the device made of plastic, it doesn't feel like a cheap toy, and that's a very important thing to say. And now for the time to share my personal opinion and help you decide if this model is for you. If you have no experience at all with a digital pen or stylus or anything like it, and you never tried something like that before, this is the perfect one for the beginner level, and I would highly recommend to purchase it if it's your first device in that area. Now, in my opinion, this could be the perfect gift. If it's for your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your children, your grandchildren, if they're beginners in this area and they wanna get into the digital painting, drawing, animation, whatever, this is the perfect first gift. Before we move on to the next device, I will mention that all the links on the description of this video with the current prices and all the other specs that I may skipped because, again, I am talking about my favorite features. The Artist 22 second generation. Unlike the last model I talked about, this one is a displayed tablet. That means it's a screen like any screen you connect to your PC, but you can draw straight on it. Just to make it clear, this is not a computer, it's a screen. You must connect it to your PC, laptop or Mac in order to make it work. Let's begin with the size. It's 21.5 inches on the active area, that means the area that you actually draw on. The resolution is 1080p, which is full HD. Now I don't want to get into color accuracy because of numbers, but basically it's getting better than what it was before. So 86% on NTSC, Adobe RGB is 90% and sRGB is 122%. That means the colors are more vibrant and more alive, and that's very important if you're doing digital art. Thanks to the USB-C to USB-C cable, you can connect it to any iMac, MacBook, laptop, PC, Windows, whatever you like, easy peasy. The pen supports the last technology from XPpen, which means the 8K pressure sensitivity and 60 degrees on the tilt. And of course, it's battery free. The pen is definitely made of high quality materials, it feels really good and it reminds me a lot of the 24-inch model. I believe it's the same pen, maybe different design. I kinda like the new headphone jack, it's a really nice elegant design, just plug in your headphones and enjoy the ride. Behind the device we have a nice slot that we can close to keep the cables protected and not shaky all the time. That's a really nice improvement, thank you XPpen. Just like the big sister, the 24 inches model, the stand is the most amazing one that I could ever try. You can tweak it easily from 16 to 90 degrees, you can only use one finger and it's enough. It's very accurate, it's very stable, and it's built like a tank. I love it. Now the next thing is very interesting. It proves that XPpen are actually listening. In my last review of the 24 inches model, which you can find on the description, I mentioned that I'm not a big fan of the buttons on the top of the screen. So guess what XPpen did? Yes, they changed it to actual buttons that you can feel without even looking. And there are no mistakes while cleaning the screen and it will do something because there are actual buttons. So once again XPpen, bravo! Now I don't want to keep it too long on this model, but it is one of my favorites for sure, especially as a pro user, and I want to describe a little bit about the feeling when you're drawing. The report rate is 220 RPS and the response time is 8 milliseconds. In other words, when you draw, it's almost real time. That's insane. Drawing with a pen on the screen feels like a glass, it feels good, it feels smooth. I like to use the glove to smooth all over the place, slow or fast. I just love it, it's my opinion, and I wouldn't change the material feeling because after all, it's digital art, it's not a paper. I made some animations with it, I made some backgrounds, sketches, 3D sculpting and other stuff behind the scenes, and I must say that from the 22 inches models, this is my favorite model so far for sure. Now it's time to share my opinions and help you decide if this model is for you. I would say that this device could easily serve the pro users. If you're a freelancer or if you work at a studio with multiple devices, this could be your workstation. And it's really nice, well done, built like a tank, stable machine. I highly recommend it. But even if you're a student and you can afford it, I would highly recommend to purchase this one because 22 inches is the right size to begin. You have lots of space on the canvas and the software GUI so you can see what you're doing. It's not too tiny and it's not too big. It's actually in the middle and it's a very high quality product. If you want to check the other specs and want to see the current price, the link will be on the description. So I talked about the beginner and the professional levels, but what about the middle? Let's talk about it. The Artist 15.6 Pro. Since I already made a review about it and you can watch it, the link will be on the description, I will not talk about the specs now. I wanna make it quicker because the video is already getting too long. I wanna get straight to the point and mention who is it for. So yeah, I can't hide it. It's my favorite 16-inch model from XPpen. Consider I didn't try all of them, but from what I've tried, this is my favorite one at the moment. So usually if I have to do a presentation or lecture to my students, I take this one with me, because it's easier to connect to a laptop and just show them. But for longer sessions or working with clients, I would never go with the 16 inches. I would definitely skip to the 22 or 24 inches because it's much more comfortable to work many hours on a big screen. If you want to watch the full review about this model, the link will be on the description. Now the next one I'm gonna talk about is the last one on this video, and it's absolute my favorite one from XPpen. The Artist 24 Pro. Again, I already made a review about it, so I'm gonna talk in general if this one is for you. Now it may sound weird because I absolutely gonna recommend it to the professional levels, but not exactly. And there is a reason for it, but it's up to your budget. If you're a beginner, and I'm not saying a hobbyist, but a beginner in the industry, you already know what you're doing and you can afford it, go for it. There is no doubt about it, because there is a 24-inch canvas for you to play with, and it also supports 2K resolution. Now before you rush and buy this one, you want to make sure that you have enough space on your desk, because it's a tank, it's a beast, it's a monster, and it will serve you as a beast. I promise you that, because I'm still using it and I'm in love with this specific model. So my advice for you is to sit back, relax, and think which one of the categories that I mentioned in each model is really for you, based on your budget, on your needs, and your level. Everything I mentioned on the video should be on the description, from the links to the models and the price and the specs, and to the reviews that you may missed. So watch them, do your, decisions, and get the right one for you. If you find this video helpful, I'll appreciate if you can like it and share it, and even leave a comment. In the meanwhile, see ya later, alligator. Boy.